because obviously yesterday we had a huge day of Champions League fixtures, one of those being Arsenal taking on Inter Milan and winning 3-1, a huge result for Arsenal. Let's talk about the changes, though, because Mikel Arteta made 7 changes to what we saw on the weekend in the Premier League, one of those being Gabriel Jesus replacing Viktor Gyökeres. Do you think there's that competition that's being reintroduced now, Jeff, into this Arsenal squad, considering that, you know, there's been this dark cloud over Gyökeres? Do you think that competition between him and Jesus is healthy?
Absolutely. If you're a coach and you've got a choice of strikers of scoring goals. Do you know what? I think it was wider than that last night, though. It was the perfect night for Arsenal.
Gyökeres is getting his confidence back. Gabriel Jesus is coming back into this team. He looked a great fit, sharp, the interplay, the poacher's finish, as you mentioned. And then you bring off Gyökeres off the bench. He looks sharp as well. He looks motivated. He looks happy. When he scores his goal, he goes to Saka. There's been all the, is Saka not passing him the ball? He goes to Saka and hugs him. This is, as you said, the perfect scenario for Arsenal. You've got your strikers firing. And then there's still a Kai Havertz, who we really haven't seen. He's only played a few minutes so far. So for Mikel Arteta, I don't think you could have come up with a better scenario. For Gabriel Jesus, an incredible night for him. Gyökeres is going to be happy. So the competition only helps this team. I think it helps the strikers as well, because when you feel like you've got to score, you're going to perform. And for the team, they know there's someone right behind them. That was the biggest issue for this Arsenal team over the last couple years, is the depth. It wasn't necessarily just having the marquee strikers, having a striker to be able to put on the pitch, and not necessarily Mikel Merino, who has done a fantastic job in that role. But now they have out-and-out strikers to place in that role every single match.
Who do you think's a better fit? Because they can't both play at the same time.
Currently, for this team, Gabriel Jesus, to me, is the best overall fit. The way his interplay, his hold-up play, the way he can run in behind. He holds the ball up better than Gyökeres right now. He wins the ball in the air more right now. But Gabriel Jesus, since he has come back from injury, has looked a different player. He's a little bit bulky. You can see the arms in the picture. He looks motivated. He looks happy. He looks sharp. Right now, in my opinion, Gabriel Jesus is the best fit for Arsenal.
What he's done in this game, and particularly over this last run of form, this looks like Gabriel Jesus back at his best, which is a delight to see. When they first signed him from Manchester City, I thought that was the final piece. Like this player at his best is so very good, a Brazil international. And you look at this game, and Aaron, like you're saying, some of the things he does, even when he's not scoring, but that first goal, the second goal obviously was poacher's finish, but I think Gyökeres could have been there too. That first goal was what we've been criticizing Gyökeres for not doing. That was an opportunistic, that wasn't a cross, it was a mishit shot, and Gabriel Jesus was right there. And even in that build-up, in that play, what they were doing there, they have been not diversified enough in the way that they're scoring goals. It's the reliance on set pieces and everything else. They were trying to play little interplay, quick combinations top of the box. It didn't go perfectly, but it was a different look. It ended up with the right result. But they being able to mix that in, those little quick combinations, and end up with a goal, what Gabriel Jesus did. And then when Gyökeres comes on and he's killing Inter in transition, that last goal, more so than the finish for me, it was the incredible run from, I think he was on the 6, all the way up. He bent his run around the defenders to stay onside. It was a great ball through. This is Arsenal at their best. And when they can beat you in different ways, my God, they should be favorites for everything.
It showed me a little blueprint, too. Gabriel Jesus from the start, and maybe you bring on Gyökeres after 60, 70 minutes. In my opinion, this team plays better defensively when Gyökeres is on the pitch because he presses so well. He will not stop running. They're overall a better defensive unit. That may be the way that they should be closing out matches. It's Gabriel Jesus from the start. Can we build a lead? Can we bring on Gyökeres to close it out? Or maybe to get an equalizer?
So who do you think starts up top against Man United on Sunday?
I would say more. I would take the question a little different. I still think Gyökeres is the best forward for this team for their ceiling for the season. But I don't see how you bench Gabriel Jesus, or rotate would probably be the better term. I don't see how you rotate him out of the team.
So you're saying
Jesus. I'm saying Jesus this weekend, but I still think Viktor Gyökeres is the best version of this team.
Aaron, who's starting?
I think Gabriel Jesus this weekend.
Who do you think, Jeff?
Gyökeres. I think he'll start Gyökeres.
I can respect that.
Do you think it changes depending on what league they're playing in the Champions League, because the football's a bit more attacking and teams are coming right at them rather than sitting back like maybe they do in the Premier League?
Not really, no. I don't think so. And also you want that consistency in your team. I mean, the beauty of Arsenal right now is the depth of the squad, the incredible depth of squad. And also, last night, by bringing new players in, it puts a bit of pressure on the players that were left out. So 7 changes. And they've got something to prove, the players that come in. They want to showcase themselves. They want a starting spot. So I think the depth of squad that Arsenal have now is one of their biggest assets. That's why they're able to compete. That's why they're top of the Prem. That's why they're top of the Champions League. And business they did in the summer is really, really paying dividends. Really, and they've been able along the way to handle some big injuries. I mean, it went under the radar last night. Mosquera had another very, very solid game. And he's a very, very young boy, and he had an excellent game. So there's a lot to admire about the depth of Arsenal right now.
You mentioned the depth there. Miles Lewis-Skelly, Eze have started. Skelly hasn't started. He started 1 Premier League game, and then he started all the Champions League games. So it does just prove the depth they've got, and maybe that could be a key factor in them winning a lot this season, Aaron.
100%. Last year, that was the biggest issue, is key players going missing in key moments and not having the depth to back them up. But you talk about a Mosquera coming in for Gabriel. You bring Gabriel Magalhaes off the bench. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Look at that bench.
It is ridiculous. Gabriel Martinelli, Gyökeres, Gabriel, Rice, White.
Do you know what demonstrates the depth that Arsenal have right now? The fact that they're going to let Waneri go to Marseille on loan.
Yeah.
And this is the heir apparent to Odegaard, maybe pushing Eze as well. They're going to let him, it won't be a sale, but they can afford to let him go out on loan. That is some demonstration of how much you've got right now. Previously, they were so, Hannah, I'll take you back to last season, the season before. Genuinely, sometimes, you're looking at the Arsenal bench, I'd never heard of them. Genuinely, and that's not bigging myself up, but they were kids. They were absolute kids. And don't forget, Max Dowman's not on that bench either.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
absolute kids. So, no, it's great business and very, very positive vibes around Arsenal.
Yeah.
Today. It'll all change if they get beat by United.
Talking about Inter, though, Inter Milan, how are you grading Christian Kivu? Because I think we all had low expectations for him coming into this season. He'd only been at Parma before Inter, and he did come into a great squad. But one of his problems is they're not winning against the big teams. They haven't beat Milan this season. They haven't been able to beat Napoli or Arsenal or Liverpool.
Yeah.
How would you grade how he's done so far this season, Aaron?
It's a difficult job taking over from Simone Inzaghi, who was such an important manager for this Inter side, took them to titles, took them to the Champions League final, obviously. I think Kivu has done a good job overall trying to transition into a new era. They're top of the league. We can't forget they're top of Serie A. And they're playing probably the best team in the world right now, objectively. And Inter looked decent at times. The goal for Suchis was fantastic. They gave Arsenal problems at times. Kivu has a big job to bring this Inter back up into continental competition and competing at the highest levels. He's doing the job that he was hired to do, which is number one, win Serie A, and push this team on. So overall, I'd give him a B, I would say. I think he's doing fantastically domestically, even though they haven't gotten the big results. They're still, most importantly, on top of the league. They're still in contention for Champions League. Obviously, they lost yesterday, but they can still push on. So I'll give him a solid B.
I don't think that he's getting enough credit, because we think back to the summer. That could have went pretty badly in terms of there were players that maybe wanted out. You didn't know if they were going to be in for this project under the new manager. It can slip really quickly. And no, they didn't beat Arsenal. They didn't beat Liverpool. That doesn't make it a bad campaign. As long as they continue to get through in the Champions League. They're first in Serie A. They have an overwhelming goal differential edge on AC Milan. Whether they win the title or not, I mean, maybe we can talk about expectations. But if they keep this level and continue to build. So yesterday, Arsenal were the deserved winners. Inter had not every chance, but if they got a draw at the end, it wouldn't have been a robbery.
Right.
Like, they had a few chances. Thuram and Martinez are so very good. And what they've done in particularly domestically and staying afloat in the Champions League, I think he's done very well in a difficult circumstance.
Agreed.
Definitely.
As an Arsenal fan watching this back, all I can think is this is exactly where we wanted to be. A 3-1 win away against Inter Milan, 7 changes, and yet the performance never dropped. That alone tells you how far this team has come. What really stands out to me isn't just the scoreline, it's the dynamic Arteta has created up top. For weeks, there's been this so-called dark cloud around Gyökeres. Questions about confidence, about fit, about whether he's delivering enough. And then what happens? Jesus starts, looks sharp, scores, links the play beautifully, and Gyökeres comes off the bench, scores, hugs Saka, looks hungry again. That's not tension. That's healthy competition. And Arsenal fans need to stop panicking and start appreciating what we're seeing. Right now, Gabriel Jesus is clearly the better fit for this system. His movement, his link-up, the way he drops in and pulls defenders out of shape, it makes Arsenal flow. That first goal is everything we've been crying out for. Anticipation, desire, striker's instinct. No set piece, no second ball chaos, just being in the right place at the right time. But here's the key point people are missing. Gyökeres doesn't suddenly become a bad signing because Jesus played well. When Gyökeres comes on, Inter can't cope with him in transition. His run for that third goal is elite. Timing, awareness, pace, and defensively, Arsenal are more aggressive, more intense, more horrible to play against when he's leading the press. That's massive in Europe. What this game showed me is a blueprint. Jesus starts games, build control, build rhythm, and then Gyökeres comes on to stretch teams, punish tired legs, and close matches. That's not a problem. That's a weapon. And zoom out for a second because this goes beyond the striker debate. 7 changes and the level stays high. Young players like Lewis Skelly stepping in without fear. Squad players coming in with something to prove. A bench that actually scares teams. 2 seasons ago, injuries killed us. Last season, depth cost us at key moments. Now we rotate in the Champions League and still dominate. That's why Arsenal are top of the Premier League. That's why they're top of their Champions League group. And that's why this team feels different. As for United at the weekend, if I'm Arteta, I'm starting Jesus. On form, he deserves it. But the fact we're even having this debate tells you everything. Arsenal aren't relying on hope anymore. They're relying on options. And honestly, that should worry everyone else. Now I want to hear from you Gooners. Who starts up top for you right now? Gabriel Jesus or Gyökeres? And do you think this competition is exactly what Arsenal needed? Or do you still have doubts? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're enjoying honest Arsenal fan reactions like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on, and stick with us all season long. Because this Arsenal journey is only just getting started.